How many times have you gotten into a confrontation, an argument, or even a fight just because you didn't listen? Welcome back, Royal Ones. This topic is extremely important because I found that the majority of people that I've come in contact with do not know how to listen. They barely even hear you, right? It's like listening has become this lost art form, even though listening is innately a part of human nature. We need to listen to each other to comprehend and to be able to move forward in anything. But yet, a lot of us are not doing it, and sometimes I don't do it too. I'm right in the same ball game with you. For example, how many times have you seen or participated in a conversation and the other person is talking and you sitting there going, yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah, Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I know it does because we all do it, right? Meanwhile, when we go, yeah, our minds are completely somewhere else. Right? Completely. And it's really odd, actually, because it's not only that, it's the reverse too. So maybe you're the person talking. You came home, maybe it's your mother, your father, your brothers, your sisters, they're in the house, and you come home, hey, how are you? How has your day gone? And before the person even says anything, you go, well, my day was crazy, Joey and Suey and what was going on at school or what was going on at the job. And you like vomiting on the person before they even got a chance to really say anything to you. Right? So you really didn't care what their day was like at that moment. You wanted to vent. Right? And maybe subconsciously or consciously, you didn't want to make it seem like you wasn't interested in that person's day at the moment. I know it has happened many, many, many times before. Right? So the thing is, with listening, it's so important. Why is it so important? Is because by listening, you can change somebody's day. They could be having a horrible day and they talking to you and then all of a sudden, they're saying something and you engage them, you're looking at them. Your body's fully engaged in a conversation that they're having. It could literally bring a smile to someone's day and change it for the positive. A lot of people don't have someone to listen to them. A lot of people are pretty lonely or by themselves, right? So being an engaged listener can actually help people in many ways than we're even conscious of, right? Because when you're listening to somebody, you're acknowledging their existence, right? A lot of us are walking around and we're like cells bumping into each other, right? But really no engagement. Right? And it feels odd and it feels strange when you're in the train, when you're in the bus. And nobody's talking to each other. Everybody's in their own zone. Right? Everybody's in their own space. As a matter of fact, most of the time people are uncomfortable to talk to somebody because they're a stranger. And it's amazing what happens when you run into somebody in those positions and they say hello. Right? Almost rattles you like, did this person just speak to me? Right? And you find out that person, through an engaging conversation, actually was a very cool person. And it made you feel better for the moment. Maybe even for the rest of the day. I know I've engaged in conversations with people where at first they think, hey, this guy's crazy for even talking to me. This is New York. But then afterwards, it's a lot of laughter. Right? And it's a lot of humanness. And you feel connection. So I think the things that we need to do and to really be a good listener is 1, have great eye contact, which I mentioned before. 2, have physical body engagement, where you're attentive, you're assertive to that person. Don't interject when somebody's speaking, just because they pause to catch their breath before they finish the sentence, and you already formulated the response in your head and you were just waiting to interject it, right? That's a horrible sign, because that means you really wasn't paying attention. You were just waiting for your opportunity to give your point. A lot of times when people are talking to you, they're not really wanting you to give your answer or response or your solution. They just want an active listener. That's why the yeah, it works pretty well, right? Because most of the time people don't want you to respond. They just want to know that you're listening, right? And what's another thing that would be great? Another thing is be present. You know, when I mean be present, I mean opening your mind when people are speaking. Paying attention to the things that are not being said. Right? That's what happens when you're fully immersed in the present moment. You see and hear and feel things that are being conveyed, but not verbally. So therefore, you'll pick up on what the person is actually saying. You know, some people say, don't listen to me. Just hear what I'm saying. Right? You could just feel what they truly intend, right? And sometimes that's all that's necessary, you know, to allow somebody to feel like, hey, I'm being listened to. And remember, whatever you put out, you get back. So learn how to be a compassionate listener, a passionately present person. Be passionately present, engaged, right? That's important. When you are these things, your life will have more meaning. And not only will your life have more meaning, but you will give more meaning to that other person. And you can avoid conflicts, you can avoid arguments, you can avoid possible fights by just truly listening. So until next time, people, live the life you love. Peace.